Alrighty, welcome back everyone to Phasmophobia. Hope you're all having a lovely day. We'll be covering the 2024 winter event, Winter's Jest. And this event is very similar to the Blood Moon event from Halloween, where you'll be working together as a community to get all of the event points and complete all 3 stages. Here's how you accumulate points. You will get 10 points for getting the ghost correct, 3 points per optional objective completed, 2 per Jack-in-the-Box opened, and 1 point for every 1x on the reward multiplier for your difficulty. In other words, it is better to play on harder difficulties to get as many event points as you can. That being said, it is also better to play on a difficulty that is a whole number. That way, you are not wasting event points. For example, you can play on a 13x reward multiplier, and it will reward you with 13 points on top of getting the 10 for getting the ghost correct. However, if you are playing on a 13.95 reward multiplier, then it will reward the same number of points, since that number is rounded down during the points calculation. There will be 2 parts of this video, the first of which I will be showing you where the spawns are for the Jack-in-the-Boxes, and that is if you are playing on all of the event maps, and the second part will be showing you some efficient ways of getting some holiday event points. And once all 3 stages are complete, you will be able to interact with the tree in the lobby, and you will be able to get a badge as well as a trophy from this event. But without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so here we are on Tanglewood, and there are a total of 10 different spawns. We will start off with the boys' bedroom over here, and as you can see, one spawns on top of this dresser over here. You just click on it, and it will pop out. Just like that, and then you'll get 2 holiday points. Next one spawns in the nursery here, just on top of this changing station here. Then into the master bedroom, one can spawn on this bed here, just like this. And another one spawns in this corner. And all that needs to be done is you just need to click on it. You don't have to be present. You can just walk away from it while it's trying to pop open. Another one can spawn in the living room here, just on this little snow pile right here. One can spawn in the laundry room over here, just on top of the washer here. And another one can spawn in the garage, just on top of this little toolbox here. And then you do get a couple in these 2 rooms here. One on this little kitchen island, and then another one on this dining room table. And then the last one to be found is in the basement, and it's just on top of this box here. Alright, so here we are on Bleasdale, and there are a total of 12 spawns on this map. And the first of which will start in here, and one spawns on this chair over here. You just click it, and then you can run away, and it will still count just like that. One can spawn on top of this couch here. Going to the kitchen dining area, we do have a couple available. One can spawn right on this dining room table there. And then another one can spawn right on this little countertop here. And then going into the hallway here, one can spawn on top of this present over here. And then in this bathroom, there can be one spawning right here. Now, just be careful with this one specifically, because this one can be a hiding spot. And if you try going into this little corner over here, where the box is, then you will get stuck. So if the box is here, do not hide here. And then the last one is in this little workshop here. It just spawns right about here, just beside the board here. Next, we will go upstairs, and there are a total of 4 available. We do have... Hi. You have one in this bathtub here, and you just click it, and then find another one. Another one can spawn in this master bedroom over here, just on top of this bed here, right in this snow pile. Another one can spawn in this bedroom over here, and it just spawns on this bed here. And then the last one spawns in here, just on this little table here. And then finally, we do have one available in the attic, and it is right on top of this present here. And here we are on Point Hope, and you do have a total of 12 potential spawns. And a third of those spawns can be on the first floor here. So the first of which is on top of this toilet here. Another one can spawn in this little snow pile over here. You have another one in front of this little fireplace here. And then you have another one right on this couch here. Next, we will go into the kitchen, where one can spawn on top of this freezer. On the third floor, in the dining room, one can spawn right on this little shelf here, right in front of that mirror there. Into the games room, one can spawn right beside this little record player. In the bathroom upstairs, you do have one that spawns right in front of this bathtub here. You can kind of see a little indent in the snow as well. The master bedroom also has a spawn, and it's just right on this bench here. The kids' bedroom also has a spawn. There is one that just spawns right on this little bed here. There is also another spawn in the workshop right here, just right on top of this little workbench here. And then lastly, you do have one that spawns right beside this little propane tank there. Alright, so here we are on Maple Lodge, and you do have a total of 22 spawns available. And the first of which is right on this little picnic bench right here, and it just spawns right on top of this little table here. Next, we will go to Campsite A, and you do have a few spawns available. One can spawn right on this little box here. Another one can spawn right on this little log here. Another one can spawn in the games tent right here. And then another one can spawn in this green tent right here. Then we will go to the washroom area, and one can spawn in this little shower here, just right in that snow pile there. And then over here, another one can spawn right on top of this little rock here. And then approaching Campsite B, we do have a couple of spawns available. You do have one that spawns in this red tent here, just right there. Same with this white tent. You can have one spawning right in this back corner here. You can also have one spawning in front of this little tree here, just like that. And another one can spawn on top of this garbage can right here. Going into the reception building, one can spawn right on top of that little box there. And then another one can spawn right on this desk here. Moving into the staff area, you do have one that can spawn right in this little crate here. Just be careful you do not go too close into this crate here, because what will happen is the player will get stuck inside of this crate and you will have to leave the game. And when you do leave the game, all of those points that you've collected during the match won't count, because you actually have to leave through the truck for the points to count. And then over here, you do have one that can spawn right on top of this little box here. And then going into the cabin area, you can have one that spawns right in this little snowbank here. Another one can spawn on top of this little picnic table here. And then going to the dock, you can have one that spawns right beside this cooler here. And then you can also have one that spawns right on this little chair here. Going inside of the cabin, you have 3 spawns. Right on this kitchen counter here is one of them. And then you have another one beside this phone here. And then going upstairs, you have one more just on this little dresser here. And then to grind out the points, we will be doing this all on Tanglewood, because it is the smallest map out of all of the event maps available. And Tanglewood is a pretty good map to test basically any ghost on. And I will show you what the process is like, but first let's check out the custom difficulty that we will be running. And this is a 13x custom, which is basically an Apocalypse 3 preset. However, the player speed is set to 75 from 50, and also the hunt duration is set to low. So effectively, you have 15-second hunts instead of the 20 on medium and the 30 on high. And that's to prevent you from like burning all of your smudges. And then we do have all hiding spots unlocked. So effectively, you can just walk in, the ghost immediately starts hunting, cleanse the ghost, and you can just walk into one of the closets in the foyer there. And you don't have to worry about spots being blocked or not. And we do have an activity monitor on, but that's just to keep it at an even 13x. And we also have a breaker available to test for Jinn. And because this is a one hunt run, getting certain ghosts will be difficult, if not impossible. Like Obake or Yurei or sometimes a mare can be problematic. Gorios can be problematic as well. But you do have plenty of ghosts available that you can figure out. However, if you don't want to play this custom here, then I can post some other custom difficulties that I can recommend on screen right now. And it's basically the same thing. You want to get as high of a multiplier as you can, and you want to get as many points as you can in a short amount of time. But certain settings you might not like, so it all depends on your playstyle. The reason why I have it at 75 here is because of my macro, and we'll show you that right now. Jumping on in, and you will notice that I am a bit slower, and that is okay. The slower that I am, the easier it is to move items forward. Notice the items that I am grabbing and how quickly I am dropping my items. I make sure to grab the heaviest items, which are the salt, photo camera, and the video camera, and I save them for the very end. Everything else is considered a light item, and I can throw it much farther. Using the macro, I am able to move 6 items into the house at once, assuming I aim my cursor correctly. Now, just a heads up, if you do decide to use a macro, make sure you do it in a single player lobby or in a lobby with friends that you trust. Doing this in a public lobby can be risky and people may report you for using mods or something. But all this macro does is it cycles through my inventory and it throws the item and it loops quickly so that it drops pretty much everything in my inventory at once. This whole process of bringing in items can take a minute or two depending on the items that you bring. I am the kind of person that likes to be thorough in my investigations. Now, if you do not want to use a macro, there is an alternative, which will be to cycle 4 items towards the house by throwing a light item ahead of you and picking up another light item underneath you. This does not need a macro, however, it is a lot easier when the player speed is slower. Also, notice where I am throwing my items inside of the house. I want to have easy access to all of the items so I can place them relatively quickly when I need to. I am also about to bring in the last little bit of my items into the house, and notice that I am holding the video camera. And as you can see, there was a box inside of the boys' bedroom there, and so now I know that I need to go into the boys' bedroom to activate that jack-in-the-box. And now I'm ready to go inside of the house, but now I need to make sure that I have the right items in my inventory. I make sure I have incense on me and then something placeable in my inventory. And now I look at my objectives and see what I need to get. I got a very lucky Paramic Whisper, and now I need to push towards the ghost area. And so I'm just bringing the crucifix towards the ghost room, and the tier 3 crucifix has a pretty large range, so it should be used relatively easily. And then once that's done, I am ready to test the ghosts. There goes that crucifix, and now I need to take it away. And then once I do that, I am just quickly looking for any boxes that are nearby, but there were not any, so I'm just heading back to the foyer. And this is effectively my base of operations where I can test pretty much any ghost here. Knowing that the ghost is in the kitchen dining area, I can either hide behind the little cabinet there and test for yokai that way, or I can use the blue bedroom to test for the other ghosts, and that's what I chose in the very end. I'm just waiting for the ghost to hunt, so it does take a little bit of time for that to happen, but I eventually do go into the blue bedroom over here, just so I can test for miling a bit easier. I can also get a pretty good visual from the bedroom as well, and given that the ghost has not stepped through the salt yet, or have been anywhere near me, I can effectively say that Banshee, Phantom, and Wraith is very unlikely. Now, where I am standing, I can effectively get a good visual of the ghost while still blocking line of sight. Now it is hunting, and I want to lure the ghost over, and I notice some weird speed changes, and despite cleansing the ghost and having electronics around, I don't think this is a Raichu anymore. However, I'm thinking this is a Jin. And now I just grab the last box, and now I am out of here. Since this is a one hunt run, I can really only have an educated guess, and I have determined that it was a Jin based on the weird speed in that hallway there. And so I'm just making my way back to the truck, and now I await the final result. And it indeed was a Jin. And looking at the stats, this only took like 3.5 minutes. Assuming you can get a round done in 4 minutes, and you get identifiable ghosts with good objectives, you can actually get like 400 points per hour at the very least. Now, it's probably not going to be that much, given that you get, like, Obakes that don't shapeshift, or you get Gorios or Yurays sometimes, but you can get a good amount of points per hour using this method. And that is it for the Winter's Jest guide. Overall, this event should go by a little faster than the Blood Moon event, since this is the second event, and the devs have a better idea of how we will progress through it. It does feel like a copy and paste of the Blood Moon event, minus the annoying aspects of it, but it also does feel a little rushed at the same time, since if you go into the master bedroom on Tanglewood, there is a collider in the way of the light switch, and that's from the decoration that is in front of it. I'm not sure why it needed a collider, but it exists. Anyways, that is all that I have for you for today. I hope that this was helpful and informative, and until then, I will see you next time.